So how does a church stop being this way? Stop being legalistic?
Yikes.
Like, because I've never seen it go backwards.
Right.
It always goes one way. It always goes toward legalism, and then everybody leaves, and no one wants to deal with it, and then the church doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
Or it becomes a huge cult, and they're really good at it.
They're really good at being cultish. Yeah.
But it never goes the other way.
Yeah. I mean, it would require such a transformation in the lives of the leaders and such a buy-in from the people. Because think about what you're doing. Like, you are so moving the trajectory of the direction you've been pointed. And so if the direction you've been pointed is keeping all of these laws like X, Y, Z, and you've been harping on this kind of very legalistic approach to Christianity, that everything is gauged by your outward actions and keeping all of these things that are, whether they're seemingly biblical because they're from the Old Testament or whether they're just extra biblical added in. And there's been such an emphasis on that, and that's so outward based. Now there's had to be a transformation in the leadership to go, we're no longer going to be an outward based church. And really the leaders would be saying, we're not going to be outward based people. Like, so the transformation have to happen in the lives of the leaders, right? Where they're going, oh, we realize the error of our way. And now now I've got to change. And now we have to lead the people into changing. And we're having to buy into, it really is by grace through faith from point one of being saved till the time I die. It really is about, I can do all of these great things, like Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13, you can do all these great things, but if you don't have love, it profits you nothing. And so now it's this movement from legalism to love, and here's the new, as kind of like, here's the more excellent way, as Paul writes in the end of 1 Corinthians 12, like, let me show you a more excellent way. And the more excellent way is love. He leads into chapter 13 there. And so it's like, here's a more excellent way. You've been doing it one way. You've been doing it by keeping all the rules, the do's and the don'ts.
The do's and the donuts?
Yeah, I don't even know where I'm from anymore. And yeah, don'ts. Do's and don'ts. It's no longer the do's and don'ts, but rather we're going to choose to follow Jesus. And there's things that we're going to do to follow Jesus and things we're not going to do because we're following Jesus. But it's still coming from a point of love. I'm choosing to love my neighbor, therefore I'm not going to do these things. I'm choosing to love my neighbor, therefore I will do these things. So all I'm saying is, it's such a major transformation in the life of the leaders. And then they've got to sell that, if you were, to the congregation. And is the congregation not going to feel a little like, well, we were over here. You've told us this forever.
Right.
Now you're telling us this. So
I'm sick of your rules. I'm out of here.
Right. Or like, well, what's happened? Why are you changing? Like, why are you changing? What's going on? It would be a hard move for a whole church, but I'm sure it's happened. I mean, if anyone knows of it happening, let us know. But I would hope it could happen. But it would just take a lot of transformation by the leaders, and then it would take a lot of grace from the people to say yes to that.
Everyone just goes home and pops in Saving Private Ryan and has a beer. Like, oh, this is better. Forgot how good this was.
Yeah, so maybe they're actually happy the pastor has done that. I don't know. So.